Hi, welcome back to the Financial Wave. This is our episode about Fraud 101. And with me today is our fraud expert. Daisy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Daisy. I work in the operations department, and I mainly focus on the fraud claims we receive from our members.
All right, and we're going to go through some of those things today that she works on every day. The first question we got that we want to ask is, what types of fraud are we seeing with our members and then most likely anyone in the public that's listening to this?
Any type of fraud out there that's been created under the sun. Check fraud, debit card, phone scams, email scams, you name it. It's all out there. We've experienced all of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately too common nowadays,
Yes.
and I'm sure you know that more than anyone with having to deal with it. So do you have any examples of the most common things we've had happen here?
Well, we've experienced a lot of debit card fraudulent transactions where members think that they're going onto a legitimate website and it's not, and it just leads the member to a scam website where they record all the information or even take over their computer and copy all the information from their account. And they even sometimes threaten the members, if you don't approve this, we're not going to release this, or so on and so forth.
Right. It's those immediate actions that are a little bit of a red flag.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, debit cards we touched on, phone scams, everyone's very technology based nowadays. But still old school checks can be an issue.
Checks, oh my God, yes. We've experienced where there's been checks taken out of the post office, the mailboxes, where now we also see that people are so desperate for a job. They apply online on any Indeed, Career Builder, and they lead the member to believe you got the job. Here's a check, buy, the supplies, merchandise, send us the difference back. And unfortunately, it's not legitimate company, and it's a fraudulent check, and it comes back.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I feel really bad for, especially people, like I said, that are desperate for a job and are looking to, to earn income, and for this to happen to them on top of,
already
not
right.
having, it's just very sad. So.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, especially when we have, like they said, we have the holiday season coming up. So, it's a lot of people are applying for seasonal things. Yes. So you might even see an increase in instances like this. And, hopefully just keep out for some of those red flags that Daisy had mentioned.
Yeah. And also, if it sounds too good to be true, it's not.
Yeah.
If I've always said that doubt means don't.
That's a great one to go by.
And they say, you won the lottery.
Right.
If you haven't played the lottery, you haven't won.
Right. More likely than not, it's probably not a truth.
Exactly. So just be careful. Watch what you click on when you're applying for a job or whatever you get in the mail. It's ridiculous how bad it's getting out there. And, you can always call us and verify any kind of information over the phone as well.
Right. And that's a good tip, for any of our members or any members of any credit union or financial institution. Like if you have a problem, contact them immediately, because the quicker we know.
Yes. The quicker we'll be able to help and prevent a possible, fraud on your account.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I know we mentioned briefly debit cards a little bit, and now there's something called card skimmers that people might not be as familiar with.
Yes.
Do you want to go to a quick little explanation just to what they are?
Yes. The skimmer is the fraudsters implant a device on ATM machines, or sometimes even at Wawa, at the
like a point of sale.
And it does the same thing. It copies all the debit card information, your PIN number, and then what they do, they turn around and duplicate that card, and it's used elsewhere in other places.
Right.
Be careful of your surroundings when you go to an ATM. Make sure no one's watching from behind or lurking around. I always go to ATM and people might think I'm crazy, but I start jiggling.
Right
you
now,
insert the card to make sure there's nothing there.
Right.
So
it's better safe than sorry. If you look a little crazy, that's okay. At least you're protecting yourself.
Call me crazy, yes. But yes, that's what a debit card skimmer is, and
gotcha. Yeah,
they're all over. It's getting worse and worse.
Yeah. So if you go to somewhere new or somewhere that's a public area, just give that little crazy shake just to protect yourself.
Yes.
And make sure you feel comfortable about what's like Daisy said, your surroundings. So kind of going on the debit card train, but a little bit different because we have a lot of payment apps that everyone uses now. And I know we've had a couple people have some issues with, things like Zelle or Venmo or Cash App. So I know there's a little bit of a difference with that in the straight debit card transaction. So if you want to just go into a little bit of, the instances there.
Well, with what I've seen with Cash App or Zelle is, again, the member is thinking that they're logging into their Cash App account, and it's not a legitimate website. So they input all their card information in and thinking they're going to send money to their Cash App account or Zelle, and it's actually going elsewhere to someone else, and they're very, very hard transaction to dispute and try to get back for the member, because it's not like the member lost the debit card or it was stolen. The member actually was the one who initiated the transaction.
Right, like you physically went in and made the transaction. So it's a much harder, it's not like it's someone else going in your account and doing something along those lines.
Right, exactly. So just be careful, again, with your URLs, your whatever website you're going to. I recommend bookmarking your bank accounts or Amazon, Walmart, so you're going into the correct website and not a
copycat or something along those lines.
Hover over your email, the URL, and make sure that it's where you want to be at.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Like you said, you're going to the same websites all the time. Go to the ones you trust. Right.
Yeah. The fraudsters make it look really good.
Yeah.
And it looks like the legitimate website, but it's not.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. So you go to the trusted ones. If it's worth an extra couple clicks, to ensure security, I think that's the best thing we can do. So wires are still things that happen.
Yes.
We have instances here as well. So if you want to go into some of those wire tips.
Wires, if I like to, if you know your member and you have a member coming in and for whatever reason, all of a sudden they're doing a wire to, like Bitcoin or something, that's a huge red flag. I mean, if members get calls, you have to send this money from the IRS, from the FBI. The one we had recently was a poor member received a call from an FBI, someone impersonating an FBI, saying, if you don't send us this money, there's a warrant out for your arrest.
Jeez.
And thank God that our front line in the back office was able to determine that it was a fraudulent, imposter, and we prevented, the member from sending the wires. But these poor members, and the elderly, I feel horrible, they get scammed into this and they believe, we have your grandson or he's arrested. We need you to send this or that.
Yeah.
I'm a grandparent. I will jump to, get my granddaughter out of trouble. But, it's really bad. They go towards the elderly a lot. And again, we know our members and we know what transactions they do and they do not. And just be careful. Do not give out your information over the phone. That's another thing that they do.
That's a good one. If it's the bank, a legitimate bank, we have that information already. You should not be providing it over the phone. And Social Security is also one where, if you owe taxes, we're going to put a lien on your house. You got to send us this information. No, hang up. Go to the source. Go to the office, the phone number, and find out before you do anything. Or again,
you could always call us. We'll be more than happy to investigate anything going on, for the member.
Right. Yeah, I think it's like we said it's like that immediate threat is a big red flag.
Yes,
like if it's you do this now, or
if it's they ask for the money right away, that's a red flag, as big as I can think of. Yes, absolutely.
Nice. And okay, so I know we went over some of these while we were talking, but is there any other best practices that we haven't mentioned or that you want to really emphasize, to anyone listening, just to make sure, they don't get scammed, they don't fall victim to a fraud?
Yes. So again, just be careful on what you click on when you're online. I had distributed through all our branches a ton of information that's very helpful for our members to educate yourself with what's out there and what's going on with fraud. It's in every branch. There's a ton of information. I know one of the good websites that I like to get my information from is the stc.gov/fraud. Oh, there's so much information on there that members can read up on and educate themselves on what to do and what not to do.
Right.
When it comes to their information and their accounts with every credit union or the financial institution.
Yeah, it's really one of those things where a lot of it's public information that's out there. It's just knowing, where to go and find it.
Yes.
And I know we always preached a lot on a couple of the other episodes that, in your, it's your bank account, it's your money, set up those alerts.
Yes, that's a big one too. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Alerts are big. You can go onto our website, set up alerts to go to your email, whatever amount you want to set it to, where it'll give you an alert if your debit card is being used elsewhere or so on and so forth. But again, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to even talk you through how to set up alerts online on your online banking.
Yeah, I know. I'm personally someone that just sets it at that 0 cent limit because a lot of the times because some of those frauds, they do that quick little short pre-charge that's like, just pennies just to see if it'll go through.
Yeah, and members typically do not notice these little charges, $1.20 here or there.
Right, you're not going to notice 50 cents coming out of your account.
Absolutely. But yes, that's a big help when you set up those alerts and, let you immediately know what's going on what's coming out of your account.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip because you said, again, we'll emphasize the fact that the faster we know or any financial institution knows, there's a lot more help that we could do on that end as opposed to finding out, a week or so later or something along those lines. We do have a resource on our website. It is now prominent. You'll see it on our homepage. It is going to be our fraud page, and it will be updated as we get more information from Daisy and any of our other, people that deal with fraud on a daily basis. So that'll be nice. It'll be on one of our ads. It'll say fraud protection or fraud resources, and we can click on that. And this podcast will also be linked under there, which will be really nice. Any other thoughts on our fraud here?
Just to fall back on again, another one that I've seen is the gift cards.
Oh,
someone is saying, send me, if you're trying to buy something on eBay, send me, go purchase gift cards and take a picture of the card and send it to me. Huge red flag. Yeah. That's another one that is just going crazy out there with that. And again, just be careful. And educate yourself as much as possible. It's only going to get worse unfortunately from what I've heard and read. They're not gonna let up on the fraud. So
yeah, and then you get trickier. It gets more and more tricky with technology and phone numbers being copied. It's craziness.
Yes. And they're even sending text messages. Like, again, for example, if you're applying for a job, they'll send you a text. Oh, we want to interview you. Can you click on the? No, do not click on that link when you get a text, because it's not legitimate.
It's not real.
No, it's not.
They'll go through any lengths to get, unfortunate people. And then, and again, we unfortunately at the credit union get to hear, the worst stories because they all are coming to us. So like we said, the best thing you can do is just keep informed, keep updated. A lot of the websites, a lot of the websites that we listed, especially the FTC, is updated constantly.
Yes, every day. Yes, it's I read horrible stories on there, but it's it's good to know and just to know what to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, and for sure. And for some of these big frauds, I know we've mentioned in a previous podcast, your credit score, your credit report.
Yes.
Utilize those resources.
Yes. Utilize. There's there's a website for the elderly. Another one is AARP. The FTC.gov, as I mentioned before, and you can also get your credit score monitored through all credit bureaus. And I believe once a year it's for free. Yep. So Better Business Bureau also, it's another website to get informed about what's going on out there. And I have all this information at every branch with tons of info for you to be updated on and whatnot.
Right. So if you ever need, if maybe you're not an internet person, which maybe will save you from some scams, but if you're ever in the branches, we do have paper documents and everything like that too. So it's not all digital. You can find this information in physical forms in our branches. So if you ever come by, swing in and you could talk with somebody too, they'd be happy to have a conversation just on things to look out for.
Absolutely.
So that was our fraud overview. We're just going to end with our normal ending, which is Community Corner. So any community events that we have going on right now. Right now we have our Angel Tree gift drive for the Atlantic City Rescue Mission. Members can get a tag and drop off a gift at Northfield, Galloway, and the FAA branch. Those are for the Atlantic City Rescue Mission again. And we can drop off any of those gifts from now through December 15th. And we also have one down in Rio.
Yes.
The Angel Tree gift collection for the Cape May Family Promise. Same thing. You can select a tag and drop a gift off at our Rio branch location. That one's a little bit sooner, so please drop off any of those gifts from now through December 4th. We would once again like to thank Daisy for joining us today. She did a great job. And any last couple seconds words here, Daisy, to sign us off?
I stay safe, enjoy the holidays, and be careful again with, especially during the holidays, the fraud does increase, unfortunately. So be careful and safe shopping.
That's a great way to end it. Thank you so much, Daisy.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening.